What's going on, good people? This is your boy Amir, aka the Magic Man. And this is Paperbacks and Soundtracks Unplugged. So yes, if you guys been following me for a while, I have a podcast called Paperbacks and Soundtracks where we talk about music, we talk about comics, all that good stuff, you know what I'm saying? But I've been trying to figure out some ways to switch some things up. And what I want to do is every other Thursday, I'm going to give you guys a podcast, my 30-minute podcast thing that I've been doing. But to fill in between those weeks, I'm going to bring you Unplugged. And what Unplugged is, I'm just focusing on some mini series that I read, like a 5-issue mini or a 12-issue mini series. And we're just going to talk about that one story. If there's any dope music that comes out, I might just talk about a couple songs here and there. But mostly I'm going to focus in on the comics, maybe that I found during the week, some hunts that I found, some dope books, or, some stories that I read. Maybe one story. We'll do one story. But that's what it is, man. So, once again, thank you for joining your boy. Click that subscribe button. And also remember to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that Paperbacks and Soundtracks. There you can find the links to my podcast. Click the subscribe button for those. And yeah, man, let's get it started, man. I'm done with all that promo stuff, man. Just come follow me on Instagram and you'll find out where all my stuff is. You know what I'm saying? So, as you can see, boom, your boy's wearing the Thanos shirt. You know what I'm saying? Gotta pop that collar one time for the boy Thanos, the man in love with death. Avengers Endgame, man. It's coming out this weekend. I'm excited. All right? I am so excited. I'm going to Charlotte to see the movie. And, I'm going to be with some family and everything like that. But I'm going Saturday and Sunday. And I can't wait. My 6 hours is locked in, So I can't wait to see the movie. But, everybody's saying, they have a feeling that, Captain America might die or Iron Man might die. But honestly, I don't know, man. I don't know. We really don't know what's going to happen to me. They showed Ronin and everything like that. And that's all good, whatever. We got a little bit of love for Hawkeye and all that stuff. So it was kind of like, oh man, they gave that kind of, get out of the way kind of early, but it is what it is. So me personally, I'm just waiting to see who is going to be brought out at the end of this movie. I hope the Avengers win, of course. Even though I got the Thanos shirt on there, I don't want the Avengers to lose. I love the good guys. But I can't wait to find out who is going to be coming into play, man. Marvel went out and got the rights to Fantastic Four, went out and got the rights to the X-Men and stuff like that. So, it's time for them to come on home. So let's see if they put them in the movie somehow, And even back to the situation where everybody's talking about, Captain America and Captain America or Iron Man dying. Are they actually going to really be gone though? Because if you think about it, Marvel has multiple different universes, our main universe is Earth 616, right? So there's another universe that exists with Captain America and Iron Man and a different Spider-Man named Miles Morales, that they come from Earth 1610. So who knows, man? Thanos might not have destroyed all the galaxies and all the universes. We don't know what he could have done. We just know that he found his little solace at the end of this movie. So who knows what he could have did after that? So can Marvel pull in those characters that exist in the other universe? Let's say Captain America does die. Will they bring him back from Earth 1610 somehow? Who knows, man? We have no idea where they're going. We just know that the Marvel, people, the kings and queens of Marvel, they put out a letter. They said, do not spoil this movie. So me, either way, I'm unplugging from social media as soon as I get on the plane. I'm done with social media Thursday night. My flight's at 6 a.m. I'm done with social media because I don't trust y'all, man. Y'all definitely gonna spoil stuff. I know it, I feel it, and I'm not playing around. Y'all not gonna mess this up for me. I've been waiting a long time, man. They've been building this story for 10 years. I am not going to ruin it for me. So I'll be away from social media that whole time, man. So yeah, I'm excited, as you can tell. Like, I can't wait to see what they do with this story. But the other things that I'm excited for is Donny Cates, his run that's going to be coming up soon in August with the Carnage story. You know, I can't wait to see that. And I talked about it on my podcast that I'm going to be hunting for some Carnage books, you know, first appearances and, you know, cameo appearances, all that good stuff. And, you know, one of my big bros, man, he's the guy that kind of got me into comics. He blessed me with some gifts, man. I just want to show you guys, man. He blessed me with the Amazing Spider-Man 344. You know, it's the first cameo appearance of Cletus Cassidy, who is Carnage. I also have now I have his first full appearance in Amazing Spider-Man 361. So yeah, man, I'm definitely going to dive into all of these. There's more. There is more. I got 362 with some more action in that storyline, and it concludes in 363. So definitely looking forward to diving into these stories. I want to know everything there is to know about Carnage and Venom and all that stuff. The run that Donny Cates has been on with Venom is amazing, and I can't wait to see where he takes it with Carnage and all of that good stuff, man. I've been reading Guardians of the Galaxy. They've been dropping hints in there about Null, the King of the Symbiotes. I'm just like, yo, let's get it cracking, man. Let's get this story going. So I'll be getting all of those. I'll be getting all of those stories, like all the tie-ins and everything. I try not to do that a lot, like with War of the Realms. I'm just getting the main line for that one, and maybe the Scroll story with Daredevil. But other than that, I'm not going to be going crazy. I will be going crazy when it comes time for this Carnage story. So yeah, let's see how that works out. You know what I'm saying? But with that said, let's jump into this story that I read by Saladin Ahmed, and the artist is Sammy Cavella. And this came out in 2018, man. And I'm talking about Abbott. Finally got to Abbott. Great story, man, from Boom Comics Show. Like, I've been mentioning that I really am starting to really enjoy independent comic books, and I want to shine a light on those stories. So between the podcast and Unplugged, like, I will be talking about a lot of independent comics because they need the love too. So with that said, this story is following a character named Elena Abbott. So as you can see, she's a young black woman. She is a journalist for the Detroit Daily, and I think she's the only black journalist that they have, and she represents the streets, man. Like, people don't put enough focus on the streets in this time, and she wants to bring a focus on what's going on with her people and the injustice that they are, you know, being hit with, and a lot of that stuff. So, you know, the story takes place in 1972 in Detroit. So if you know anything about Detroit in the 70s, it was one of like the murder capitals of the world at the time. You know, there was a lot of killing going on in Detroit in the 70s. And a lot of it was, you know, a lot of the people that were being murdered were young men and young boys, you know. It was a lot of, like, you know, black on black crime, a lot of white on white crime. Like, there was, you know, stuff like that. I know it's a dumb saying to say, but that's what it was. You know, it was black men murdering black men, you know, white men murdering white men. It was like 90%, you know what I'm saying, with those two backgrounds murdering each other. But even with all that murdering and killing going on in Detroit, and it just being like just really bad, you know what I'm saying, really bad times, there was also Motown, you know what I'm saying? Like, they were making some great music. And you know me, this is Paperbacks and Soundtracks, man. I'm going to talk about the music. always. You know what I'm saying? If I can, I'm gonna squeeze it in there a little bit. But you know, there was music coming out of Detroit that was amazing, and it affected the world big time. You know, like you had the Jackson 5, Stevie Wonder, Temptations, the Supremes, Marvin Gaye. They were all at, you know, killing the game and at this time period. So it's like on one hand you got like the downside of Detroit with all the killings and stuff like that. On the other hand, you got all this great music coming out of the city. Like it was just really, really trippy, you know what I'm saying? So this story kind of absorbs that whole time period, man. Like just the way that they talked in the story, like the dialogue that Saladin Ahmed showcased in the story. It was like, man, he really did his research. Like the clothes, like the way that they just, everything, man, the whole vibe of the story definitely showed like that they did their research in the story. Like let me just show you a little bit of the artwork here. Let me get a good page here for you. Not that one. Yeah, so it's like if you know, just look at the clothes, man, in the story. Like it's really, really great artwork that you know, Cavella did in the story, and it just had a good feel to it. But to the story, so basically, like I said, Elena Abbott is the really the only black female reporter in Detroit, right? And one of the articles that put her on the map was an article she wrote about the wrongful death of a 14-year-old, like he was killed by a police officer. So right there, you're just like, damn, you know, this was going on back then too. And, you know, he could have easily wrote this story like in this time period, but he chose the 70s. I guess that's just one of his favorite time periods, and the vibe was right. So, you know, she gets a lot of hatred because of the fact that she wrote this article. You know, a lot of the older white guys are like, oh man, here this chick go again, you know, showing up on the scene to do her thing and all that stuff. But, you know, it's crazy because even the people that run her company, her newspaper company, like they don't like her either for writing this type of news that represents and showcases what's going on with the African Americans in the city. They're not feeling it at all. Like they want her out of there, you know. And it's a really, you know, it's a really deep story with that part of it, you know. But at the same time, you know, she is a journalist, and this is like a detective comic, you know what I'm saying? Like she's trying to get information on things. And the very first scene that she walks on in this story is a scene where a police horse is killed. Like they cut the head off the police horse. And when she sees this, she gets like these really weird vibes, you know, like, whoa, like something hits her, like something that she's felt before that's familiar, like a little graphic, but yeah, you can see how she gets those vibes. And, you know, the guys are just kind of like, oh, what's going on with you, Abbott? Like, you know, you're scared of the horse head and all that stuff. But the part that killed me like that was like, wow, was that even in this story, they are blaming this killing on like the Black Panthers and the African American militant groups in the area. Like it's like, wow, they're even doing that here. And like it set the tone for the story going forward for the whole story. But without giving up like too much, the vibes that she felt in that moment, she feels them again later on, where there's a young man that's actually killed and he's like cut in half, you know what I'm saying? And you only see like the top half of the body or the bottom half. I forget which one it is, but she gets those same exact vibes. But she gets freaked out even more because she finds out, she sees that she sees these like little smoke vibes coming off of the body. And later you find out that these are like basically monsters coming to kill these people and even the horse. They're called the Umbra, the Shadow of the Umbra. And the Umbra is like this powerful being that is trying to take over the city. You know what I'm saying? And Elena plays a part in all of this, which is really dope. And like I said, I don't want to give up too much of the story, but I will say that in the story, Elena Abbott is the light to all of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you think about her at the newspaper company, like, she's shining a light on what's going on in the city with the killing from the police officer of the young boy, to now going to be shining a light on these monsters that are attacking the city. And she's the one that has all the power to stop all of it, man. And when I tell you this was a page turner, like, even if you're not like a big comic book fan, like Abbott, man, Abbott, it's got a great vibe. The way the dialogue, I said, is just written very well. And it's not a lot of pointless talking that goes nowhere, you know? That's the part that I like about it. And the other part that I like is that every issue gets better. You know what I'm saying? Because the better it gets, the deeper Abbott gets into the case. And, you know, she's working this case, but she also has to maintain her job also. So it's really fun, man. It's a really dope story. You guys definitely check this one out. Go to your comic book store, find out what Abbott's got going on in this story. You know, really dope character. Very, you know, the artwork was really cool. I really enjoyed it. And like I said, I'm going to be jumping into these Spider-Man stories to see what Carnage has going on. And I'll be reporting this stuff back to you guys on the next episode of Paperbacks and Soundtracks Unplugged. So make sure you click that subscribe button so you don't miss out on your boys' rants on these comics. Everybody go enjoy Avengers Endgame. Let's find out if Thanos, he's got the juice, man. Let's see if he can stop all of these Avengers that's coming after him now. You know, they done killed some of their people, or, you know, he killed some of their people. So let's see what happens, man. So I'm excited. I'm going to go watch Avengers Infinity War all over again, get hyped even more, and I'll see you guys next week for the podcast episode number 18 of Paperbacks and Soundtracks. This is your boy Amir, Paperbacks and Soundtracks Unplugged. Peace.